One of my favorite things about SVASE is the opportunity to participate in SVASE events as a panelist or a moderator, or in the case of Launch Silicon Valley, helping organize events. One of the things that we like to do as former entrepreneurs ourselves, we have created Garage around the idea of giving back to the entrepreneurial community. So we love the opportunity whenever we can at an SVASE event to be on a panel and talk about what we learned when we were entrepreneurs and what we've learned since we became venture investors about what are some of the best practices, some of the hot tips, some of the techniques that entrepreneurs can use to be more successful in starting their company and getting their company funding and building their teams, and in a lot of other topics that SVASE puts on as events for entrepreneurs. One of the great things about being on an SVASE panel is being with some of my colleagues in the venture industry, or sometimes it's a mixture of entrepreneurs and investors on these panels, and mixing it up a little bit around, hey, what's going on right now? What are the topics that you're seeing that seem to be changing the way things are going here in Silicon Valley or in the tech community largely? And so we love taking advantage of the opportunity not only to share with entrepreneurs some of the latest and breaking topics that we're coming across, but also mixing it up with our peers around, what are they seeing and what's really going on, and pulling out of them what we want to learn about what's going on elsewhere in the entrepreneur and venture community that maybe, we're not seeing right now. So at the end of the session, I learn as much from being on these panels as I think the audience learns about the topic that we're discussing. Part of the deal as a venture capitalist or an entrepreneur coming to an SVASE event and being on a panel or even being in the audience is making yourself available to the rest of the people in the room. It's one of the things that I love most about these kinds of events is the schmoozing before the event and the schmoozing after the event with my fellow panelists and with the rest of the people in the room. That's where I really learn the most about what's going on, listen to some hot ideas, find out what the mood is in the entrepreneur community, find out what the mood is in the investor community. So personally, I always make it a priority to make myself available to entrepreneurs and other investors around any SVASE event.